Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Leadership Satsang. My name is Yukti Kapoor Mendirata. Thank you so much for accepting me as your leadership coach. I am super excited every Tuesday to catch up with you all and share with you another challenge that we can overcome with some conscious learning in the space of leadership. So, today we're going to talk about one such challenge that many of us face. But before that, I want to again reiterate why we're calling this as a leadership satsang. A lot of people are very curious with this term. And I think it's not just something that sounds good, it is something that I strongly believe in. And it is something that our audience has actually suggested to us because when we come together and talk about leadership, we don't restrict ourselves and our learning to just skill development to earn more money. We want to actually go levels deeper within ourselves and see what is it that I need to shift about myself. What is it that will make me a better person? And that is why we call it as a satsang, in the company of good people. And I am in the company of good people because it's good people like you who put their hand up and make time to learn consciously. Despite your age, your experience, and your achievements, you are sitting there listening to the session as a student. And that is what makes this a satsang and a leadership satsang. So, welcome to another episode of Leadership Satsang. I would love to know from you all right now which part of the world are you in? It just always excites me to see people joining in from different parts of the world. Hiren, good to have you back after a very long time. Good to have you. Tell me which location are you all joining me from today? I am in Mumbai, Amchi, Mumbai. I would love to know from you all, where are you today? Kanpur. Wonderful. Okay. And where are the rest of the people? Let's have you in the chat box. Guys, today's session is going to be exceptionally interactive because we're going to talk about well being. Well-being is not a different topic from leadership. It's very important for us to understand what well-being means because unless we take care of ourselves more holistically, it is very difficult for us to leverage upon our learning and bring out our true potential. So let's not underestimate that. And I think it's a very, very important topic. And obviously, it becomes a lot more important and comes in the limelight when we have days allotted to it, such as the World Health Day, which was on 7th of April. So I thought we should celebrate it together today in this session by talking about holistic well-being. Great. Jamnagar, Mumbai, wonderful. Wonderful. Kanpur, Mumbai. Great. Thank you and welcome everybody. Welcome Aditya, Rahul, Bharat, Hiren, and everybody else who's joined in live right now. So tell me, since we're here to learn 5 ways to bring in holistic well-being, I'm curious to know, what does holistic well-being mean to you? What does it mean, holistic well-being? What will make it holistic? Let's hear it from you. Good to have you here, Diana. Let's hear it from you. What does holistic well-being mean to you? Happy life. Okay. Holistic well-being will result in happy life. Okay. That's true. But what does it mean, holistic well-being? Any thoughts? There are actually no wrong answers to any question, right? There are just your answers. So let's know what your answer is. What does holistic well-being mean to you? There are different elements of holistic well-being that I want to touch upon. So what are some of these elements that come to your mind? Personal, professional, emotional, spiritual. Absolutely, Hiren. You nailed it, right? So let's look at 5 elements, and I would like you to put that down on a piece of paper for yourself so that we make a very clear plan to bring holistic well-being in our life. It's not just about listening to it and agreeing. It's about bringing a change in our life. And then there is meaning to our catch-ups every week, right? That's what I want for you all. So let's work on this together. Yes, a great sustainable balance of work and life, Aditya, is achieved by holistic well being. Yeah, a state of soul towards liberation, very profound, but let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple and break down holistic well being into 5 elements. As Hiren indicated, we could look at emotional well being, physical well being, mental well being, spiritual well being, and financial well being. Let's see, these are the 5 elements that, if are at a good place, and if I'm consciously doing something about each one of these five, then overall my well-being is in a good place, right? It's elevated, it's enhanced, it's improving. If I can consciously improve one or all of these elements wherever my attention is required more than the other, I would suggest you make a plan for all five of them. So let's look at the first one: physical well being. What would physical well being include as per you? Physical well being? A healthy body and mind? Yes, Rahul. So, what does it take to make a healthy body? Any tips for a healthy body? Something that we resist big time? Physical well-being is a function of eating right and exercising. Yeah, whether it is gym or yoga or zumba or swimming or physical fitness. Absolutely, Shiva, right? It's about physical fitness. So here is a question that I would like you to ponder over. What is that discipline you've brought in your life which ensures your physical well-being? How aware are you about your exercise regime? How committed are you to be consistent with it? And how aware are you about the healthy quotient of the food that you consume in the day? Are you eating right? Are you eating healthy? Are you exercising? These are the questions to be asked. And if the answer is no or not enough, is when we need to bring another plan in place, which ensures consistency, which makes it easier. So I want to share with you how easy it can be to exercise. I mean, sometimes, we just procrastinate, we feel too lazy, or we actually feel there is no time. Maybe we've overslept and, I mean, now I have to jump into action and I might miss out on exercising. So this is when I want you to leverage upon the technology available, right? We've got lot of apps on our play stores, which are pretty much, most of them are free. I was just exploring through a few options to make sure that we don't get stuck with something that pushes us for premium membership with all the ads that they bombard us with. So I wanted to pick up an app which is not loaded with too much of ad distraction, and I came across this app called NTC, Nike Training Club. I think that's what it's called. Very interesting app. It has a range of exercise from 5 minutes to whatever time you can spend on exercising. So if you think you're not exercising enough, then commit to at least 5 minutes in a day and start using this app to jump in before your mind can decide that these are not the 5 minutes you have. In your 24 hours, all that you're asking of yourself is to give you 5 minutes. And then plug in this app and see what exercise routine comes in front of you, jump into it and do it. And then we slowly increase this 5 to 10, 10 to 15, till you come to a point where you feel this is enough for my body. Exercising is not the time for us to prove anything to ourselves or anybody else. It is very important to listen to your body even when you exercise. It is important to know when to stop. It is not about running longer than the other person running on the other treadmill. It's about your body talking to you and telling you how much is a push and how much is too much. And being able to listen to that is very, very important. In fact, the reason why yoga works so well is because yoga strengthens that connection between your mind and your body, and the awareness that your mind has about your body, that deepens with yoga. So you go slow with that, you always very gentle with your body, you bring in breathing so that the stamina increases. So there's a lot of science at play when you're doing yoga, as against an aggressive gym workout. And I love gym workout, but I don't want us to get carried away with the loud music and the competition that drives us to keep pushing our limits without us realizing where we start proving to ourselves or sometimes to other people around through the weights that we pick or the exercise routine that we take. So please be mindful. Exercise is for your body. And if you love your body, you need to exercise and take care of it. So that's the first element of well being: exercise. All right. The second element of well being is the mental well being. Now, there are a lot of thoughts that go on in our mind the entire day. Now, there is this whole debate happening somewhere there that, are these 60,000 thoughts in a day? Or somebody said, no, it's actually 6,000 thoughts in a day because mathematically 60,000 is not possible and all of that. I say, irrespective, we know for a fact that there are multiple thoughts in a day. Some we are aware of, some we are not even aware of. Some pull us down, some push us high. We seem to have no control over what's going on here in this small part of my body that pretty much rules the rest of me. How do I ensure mental well-being? It is really important for us to bring in the comfort to speak up, share, talk. Talk to somebody you trust. Share with somebody that you're not okay. Even if you think it is something very, very personal, you don't want to talk about it, it's okay to just share that I'm not okay right now. And I just want to be in your company, or I need a hug, or I need to talk, or why don't we just watch some silly stuff together? I just want to feel okay. That awareness of not being okay is a leadership quality, because as a leader, we're continuously working on our awareness levels, isn't it? So, mental well being can be dealt with some level of trust that allows us to share and speak up. If you're not comfortable with that just yet, see if journaling can help. Having a journal where you can write your thoughts when no one's reading it, you're not being judged, is a great way to vent out what's not working for you. All the worries, which look like this very big mountain, turns into a mole. When you actually sit down and write what is worrying you, it doesn't go beyond a page. And then you look at it and say, oh my God, it's just this much. I can deal with that. And that's when you bring that peace and calmness back, which you need to actually deal with it or do whatever else you need to do before and after. So, journaling is an exercise that I want you to consider before you rule it out. If you've never journaled, then try doing it for a month. Don't judge it before that. And then see how you feel after a month. So, I'm curious to know how many of you do some journaling, gratitude journaling, or you have a journal where you just write down your thoughts, or how your day was, and you want to kind of just make a quick note of how you feel about the day as you reflect upon it. How many of you have that practice? Just say I journal, or whichever way you want to share in the chat box right now. Tell me, do you journal, or have you ever done that? Maybe for whatever reason you don't do it anymore, but have you ever experienced journaling? And when I say that, I don't mean a one off, just you bought this diary and you wrote one day and then you never did it again. Yeah, Bharat, you do journaling. Awesome. Others, tell me, would you be keen? Would you be keen to just give it a shot? If you do something new, there is always an opportunity to learn something new, right? I have just one journal that's based on my plan and strategies herein. Okay. I am recommending that you create a journal for yourself. This is where you talk to yourself. You are putting down your thoughts. The thoughts which are just going all over the place and are looking bigger than they actually are. Just pen them down. And the moment you do that, you will see automatically there'll be more space here. You will get more mental space to focus on what's really important. Rahul, you journal, fantastic, good to know. Official notes, yes, but not the personal. Would be keen to give it a shot. Shiva, that's who you are, and that's what I love about you. So go ahead and do that. Write a journal for yourself, just your thoughts, and let that be a separate book altogether. And by the way, you get these cute lock and key books also. If you're really worried that somebody is so interested in my life that they're going to pick my journal and read, then get a lock and key and make sure that you keep the key safe. But whatever it takes, you've got tech versions of it as well. You've got apps again on your app store. There are lots of journal apps. The one that I have is called My Diary, and that's again with a password. It's password protected, and I write what's on my mind every single day, and that's such a good release, giving me more mental space to think about what truly matters. Personal journal is what you're recommending. If I'm getting it right, Hiren, you're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm talking about a personal journal to create mental space. And that is what ensures mental well being. Either being able to share with somebody who you can trust doesn't necessarily mean that you need their advice. Okay. Sometimes it is just to release. Sometimes it is just to share that a lot's going on in my head and I just want it all out of my system. So let's just go for a walk or let's just listen to some happy music. And then you move on from that state of mind to another. So that's the second element, guys. And then comes emotional well being. Emotional well being is about ensuring that you feel good about where you are, who you are, and how life is. Right now, it's not always good. It doesn't always feel good. We're not always emotionally happy. But what we've got to learn as leaders is to accept other emotions as well. There is nothing wrong in experiencing an emotion of anger or experiencing an emotion of sadness. So, how do we then create that balance and that well being emotionally? There are times when we don't know how we can help ourselves, how I can feel better. But one thing that will definitely make you feel better when you don't know how to do it for yourself is to make someone else feel better. If you don't know how to help yourself in a situation, see if you can help someone else. And the moment you do that, the happy hormones are secreted in your body and your emotional well being is taken care of automatically without you putting your mind to figure out anything that needs to be done. So remember this, if you don't know how to help yourself, go find an opportunity to help someone else. If you can't make yourself laugh, see if you can make someone else laugh. And it will pay you off immediately by uplifting your own emotional state almost in the same moment. So that's how we can very consciously take care of our emotional well being. And there are many other ways to do that. I'm just sharing one because this always works. So, see who could do with a call from you, who could you send a message to so that that person feels taken care of, who is this person who needs a little more attention from you, and if you give, you will make that person's day. Could you do that? If you don't know how to fix your own emotional state, can you uplift someone else's? That automatically will give you the return on this effort immediately. And that's how we can take care of our emotional well-being. And then comes your spiritual well-being. Spiritual well being is obviously related to spiritual practices like meditation, sitting in silence, going for walks in nature. You decide how you want to do it. Again, there are lots of apps available. If you think that meditation is something that requires a lot of time, doesn't fit into my calendar, I would recommend an app called Evolve. I very recently discovered this one. It's really cool. So again, it's not bombarded with ads, like not too much. In fact, no, not much ads at all. And it gives you the flexibility to personalize your activities. So they've kind of split your day into three parts: morning, afternoon, and night time. And they give you some recommendations that you can, some self reflection, there is some music, there is some small, brief journaling, some motivation quotes. All of that is kind of spread out in the day. So you can plan what is it that you want to do first, and then accordingly your day goes. Now, if you want to also experience guided meditation on this app, is when you have to go for the premium version. But if you don't want to use this app for guided meditation and you're okay with silent meditation, that is included in the basic plan. Okay, so you decide which plan works for you. But even if you have the basic plan, you've taken care of the minimum that is required for our spiritual well being. And that is meditation by sitting in silence, some music which is calming and helps you to focus, some affirmations which bring in that positivity that you need, and some time for reflection right in that app itself. There are also some quotes which are motivational and inspiring, and sometimes just reading something right makes you feel better. So all of that comes together in this app. There are probably many other such apps out there. So check it out, do some exploration, and find out how can you make it easier for you to ensure your spiritual well-being. How can you be more consistent with it? How can you make it a practice? Can we have auto captions of okay, yeah, I don't know if we could do that. I'll ask my team to take care of the auto captions if that's possible. Amit, thank you for bringing it up. All right, let's come to the last element of holistic well being, and that is financial well being. Now, we work really hard. Is that right? Whether you run your own business or you're part of a corporate enterprise, I would like to believe that you work really hard in your life. Is that true? Just give me a true or not true in the chat box. Now, hard does not mean working for 12 hours, 14 hours, 18 hours. It's about giving it all that you have. It's about spending every single effort, every cell of your body is involved in what you do. and you work day after day, sometimes at the cost of your health, sometimes at the cost of your feelings, your mood. You just get up, you dress up, and you show up. And that in itself is a lot of hard work, right? So we're working hard. We're working hard not just to pay the bills and get food to the table. We're working hard to secure the future of our family, our loved ones, our own future. There are a lot of good reasons why we're working hard. And in this process, if we compromise with our own feelings, our own happiness, then all of this is not so worth it. That by the end of it all, when we look back and we say, hey, you know what, I wish, then that's not a good place to be in. So here is what I recommend. For financial well being, I would encourage you to keep aside some small percentage of your monthly earning as your pocket money. I've been doing it from the time I started earning, like my first salary. And I would take like a percentage of that. That time it was a 10% because the amount was less. And slowly you can reduce the percentage or decide on a fixed amount. But decide on an amount that you will spend on yourself from your hard-earned money. And that is your pocket money, no questions asked. You can spend it the way you want. You want to splurge it somewhere? Do that. You want to buy a piece of jewelry? Do that. You want to just go for a solo vacation? Whatever pampers you, makes you feel good. It could just mean having an ice cream, or it could mean just buying something and I don't have to wait for it to be gifted to me. This is my pocket money and I'm just going to buy it because I deserve it, because I've worked hard and I want to pay myself back by doing something small as a gesture to keep myself going. And that is what brings in that financial well-being, because that's when we start using money as real power. The power of it is when it infuses and infuses energy in you, right? And that energy comes in when we take care of ourselves. It's a very, very important part of self-care to pamper ourselves. And sometimes that means buying a few things. It's not as if we can't, it's just that we don't. We always think about buying things for other people, or for our family, for our husband, for a wife, or for the children. And we hope that somebody one day will understand my need as well. Let's drop that. While they will, and that's bonus. Every month, I'm going to take care of myself by keeping aside a small percentage of what I earn and spend it on whatever I want to. And that is what adds that excitement, that energy, right, to whatever else that you have to do. And there's so much more joy in then spending the rest 98%, 95%, or 80%, whatever that balance is that you're going to spend on the rest of the family or other responsibilities that you have, right? So that is how we bring in self-care in the true sense. As we celebrate World Health Day, I want you to know that the health of this world will be elevated only when every individual takes upon themselves as their personal responsibility to ensure holistic well-being. Holistic well-being is taking care of yourself in every way possible: spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, and financially. So I hope you're taking away some tips from what I've shared today. There are many other ways to ensure this, and that's what I would love to know from you all. So please share your thoughts and your practices of what helps you to ensure holistic well-being. I would love to know that. And having said that, I'm always open to any questions that you may have in the space of leadership. If there is anything you want me to take up in the upcoming sessions, leadership satsang, I'll be very, very happy to do that. I want to also remind you that we have decided to keep the last satsang of the month as an open house, which means I will be right here waiting for you all to show up and ask some interesting questions. And I will take those questions up spontaneously and try my best to answer to the best of my ability, right? So let's do that. Let's bring in some very important questions which are important for you, and I will do my best to answer them in the ways possible. So, Alicia, I will request you to come for that session for sure, and I will take up your question and give you a response that might help in some way. Okay, so all the very best to you all to bring in holistic well-being. I do want to see you here again next Tuesday with another question that I would love to answer in the space of leadership in the next episode of Leadership Satsang. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you all. I'll see you real soon. Thank you.